This conflict didn't start with missiles, sanctions, or headlines. It started quietly decades ago when power, oil, and influence collided in the Middle East. Back in 1953, Iran was not the country the world sees today. It was led by a democratically elected Prime Minister, Mohammad Mossadegh. He made a bold move. He nationalized Iran's oil industry, taking control away from Western companies. That decision changed everything. The United States, through the Central Intelligence Agency, alongside Britain, backed a covert operation to remove him from power. The coup succeeded. Mossadegh was gone. And in his place, Mohammad Reza Shah Pahlavi was restored to the throne with strong support from Washington. For the US, the Shah was a strategic ally. But for many Iranians, he became a symbol of foreign control, repression, and growing inequality. For years, tensions built beneath the surface until they finally exploded. In 1979, everything changed. The Iranian Revolution swept through the country like a storm. Millions of people took to the streets. The Shah fled. And a new leader emerged, Ruhollah Khomeini. Under his leadership, Iran transformed into an Islamic republic, completely reshaping its political identity and its relationship with the world. But the breaking point came soon after. In November 1979, Iranian students stormed the US Embassy in Tehran. What followed became one of the most defining crises in modern history, the Iran hostage crisis. American diplomats were held hostage for 444 days. The message was clear: the old relationship was over. From that moment on, Iran and the United States were no longer uneasy partners, they were adversaries. But where does Israel enter this story? Before 1979, Iran and Israel actually had quiet cooperation. They weren't allies in public, but behind the scenes. They shared intelligence and economic ties. The revolution changed that overnight. The new Iranian government adopted a strong anti-Israel stance, rejecting its legitimacy entirely. From Iran's perspective, Israel became a symbol of Western influence in the region. From Israel's perspective, Iran became something far more dangerous, especially as Iran expanded its regional influence and began supporting groups like Hezbollah. To Israel, this wasn't just politics. It was a direct security threat. And then came the nuclear question. As Iran developed its nuclear program, concerns escalated globally, but nowhere more intensely than in Israel. Israeli leaders began to see a nuclear-capable Iran as an existential danger. This is where the conflict evolved into something far more complex. Not a direct war, but a shadow war. Covert operations, cyber attacks, assassinations. proxy conflicts stretching from Lebanon to Syria, from Iraq to beyond. For years, Benjamin Netanyahu has repeatedly stated in his speeches that the head of the snake is in Tehran. From Israel's perspective, the strategy has been clear. Confront the network by targeting its key figures and weakening its influence across the region. These include actions widely attributed to Israel against members and commanders of Hezbollah, operations that analysts often describe as part of a broader effort to disrupt the group's structure and capabilities. Figures such as Hassan Nasrallah have long been central to this tension, symbolizing the ongoing shadow conflict between opposing sides. Similarly, operations linked to Israel have targeted individuals such as Ismail Haniyeh, a key figure associated with Hamas. Taken together, these actions are often described as part of a broader strategy, a long-running covert confrontation aimed at limiting threats before they fully emerge. In this shadow war, battles are not always declared, but their impact shapes the entire region. At the same time, the United States increased its military presence across the region, reinforcing alliances and imposing heavy sanctions on Iran. One negotiation after another collapsed, leaving every agreement empty and without real outcome. And tensions between the negotiating sides reached a breaking point. Each move triggered a counter-move. Each pushed the conflict further. So why did it reach this level?
Iran's retaliation has begun.
Because this is not just a political disagreement. It's a collision of ideologies. A struggle for regional dominance. A cycle of mistrust reinforced over decades. For 47 years, a pattern of hardline and miscalculated decisions by Iran's supreme leader, combined with confrontational policies and backing from militant groups, has fueled tensions and deepened divisions across the region. Iran sees itself as resisting foreign control and protecting its sovereignty. The United States sees itself as containing a destabilizing force. Israel sees a threat it cannot afford to ignore. Today, this conflict is no longer a single story. It plays out in diplomacy, in intelligence, and sometimes in fire. And the truth is, understanding how it began is the only way to understand where it might go next. The real question is not who will win this war, but what will remain when it's over.